Welcome to Drum and Drummer, a podcast focused on drums, drumming and drummers. I'm George Pickering and that's Ben Winty, and we are both professional drummers in this business we call music. So stick around and join us as we pass the time whilst trying to stay in time.
Sorry, I was saying James and Dean as separate people.
Right, not James Dean.
Me, James Dean.
Yeah.
You know.
It's the human equivalent of orange juice and lemonade. Email. Do we need it?
That's a big question.
That's my opening question to you. And I'll tell you for why.
Yeah, go on.
I'll tell you for why. I had someone phone up the studio the other day.
Yep.
Wants to come and book a recording session to sing a song.
Sure.
And I was like, great. We talked it through, what the sort of project was. And I said, I'd like to get your email address. And he said, I don't have an email address. Okay.
Right. Yeah.
And now, you know.
Could you tell from the voice how old they were?
Definitely an older gentleman.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, definitely an older gentleman. But I said to him, okay, no problem. And I wasn't going to not work with him just because he doesn't have an email. But
yeah, that'd be mental.
When I book something in, I email over all the booking details, and then there's like a link you can click to pay the deposit and things like that. So it's a bit like, I can't do that with him. So I'll find another way. So I'll, say it's all right because I want to get things down in writing. I don't like just having, especially when dealing with dates and money and things like that. And so I ended up like texting him all the sort of stuff. But it got me thinking, how do you live today without email?
Yeah.
Does he have an email? He just doesn't like using it. Or just does he not have an email address? But I'm really struggling to think of so much stuff. You can't. How do you not have one?
Yeah, yeah.
How do you live your life?
Because there's a lot of things you need signing up for that they go, what is your email address?
Yeah.
You know? I'm pretty sure with the new
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah. Wow. I'm also surprised because he's older, you know? I was thinking it would be someone younger who just hasn't got on it, you know? But wow.
Well, I guess, you need an email address to sign up for Instagram and the Snapchats and the MySpaces and the Bebos.
So he's not on. I mean, you could list off all the things he doesn't do if he doesn't have an email, you know?
Yeah, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's like, should we live in a world where you don't have to have an email address? Should that be the case?
Yeah.
But come on.
I don't think we need post anymore.
No? Okay.
No. Because anything that's sent via post can be sent via an email. And if you don't think we need emails, then we definitely don't need something on paper that could just be sent as a text. You know what I mean?
Mm.
You get a letter from the bank saying this is your monthly statement. I can see what my monthly statement is. You know,
I check every day how much money I don't have.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I do sort of respect people who live like that, who just almost cut off. I remember hearing someone who, when they retired, just got rid of their watch and clocks in their house, and I don't know how true it was, but they were like, I don't need to stick to a time schedule anymore.
They were living in Vegas time.
Yeah, don't know.
No clocks,
cares?
No windows.
Yeah. Exactly.
Don't worry about what time it is. Keep gambling. Don't worry.
I was saying that to a woman next the other day. I was returning a waistcoat because I didn't need it for the gig, and I was saying how the weather's bad outside, and she went, "Oh, I wouldn't know." Like, it was in Churchill Square, the shopping centre. She's like, "Once you're in here, you don't know what's going on outside." I was like, "It's sort of like being in the airport duty free bit, isn't it? You know, it could be any time of day, but it's bright lights and perfume.
Cinema,
like cinema, yeah.
My room, clearly.
Well, yeah.
It's grey dungeon.
Yeah,
I mean,
it could be the sunniest day, but you go into your flat, you're like, oh god, it's like the bat cave.
This guy also said he said to go back to it. He said, what I want to do is I want to record it, and then I want to take away my vocal takes so I can listen to them at home and choose the best ones, and then book another session to then piece it all together. Now, that's quite old school. A lot of the sessions I do, either I do it in the session with the client,
Yeah.
that editing, or I'll do it on my own. And I'm a pretty good judge at what are the best ones. But it's like, okay, people work differently. Okay. Yeah, I can do that. It's a bit of a faff. But then in a message, when we were texting about the booking, this ties into the no email. He wants to take, he was like, I want to take away the vocal takes on a CD.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like,
what does he, and I say this in the kindest way, what does he look like?
I don't know, I've not met him yet.
Like, oh, okay.
I've got the session this afternoon, actually.
There's people like that. Well, you'll have to let me know who just, they look a certain way and like you can kind of imagine what their house is like, and it's all, I wouldn't say old fashioned, but still in the 70s.
Yes,
you know?
yeah. No, I'm picturing exact same sort of thing you'd see a couple of years later. You'd see it on Homes Under the Hammer.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Oh, have I got a story for you? Have you heard of DIY SOS?
Yeah, Nick Knowles.
Yeah. Big time. So I'm in my new house, and I arrived here last night, and I parked up in front of the gate before going onto the driveway. That's nice.
Oh, he's got a driveway now.
Got a driveway now. So I parked up in front of the gate, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, mate, you couldn't help me out. Like, I got a flat battery. And I was like, oh, shit. Yeah. No worries. So I've been there, boy. I'll help you out. Do you know what I mean? And so I drove around to the car parking area. Like, he lives in the block of flats next to where I am. And we tried to jump start it, and it didn't work. And we tried again. And he was like, oh, I bought this van. It was kind of this big Volkswagen van thing, like exactly the same as what Elliot used to have. Yeah. But I think they're known for just breaking down. And I think that's what happened to Elliot. I think he, spent a lot of money and then had to get rid of it in the end. And he was basically saying, oh, I've got my job in Cardiff that I have to go to. He's saying, I love my job, but I have to do 2 days in a row. And then I have to pay for hotels, so I thought it'd be cheaper to get this van, sleep in it. And then, and I was going, what is your job? He goes, oh, have you heard of DIY SOS? I'm on that. I was like, cool, and he was like, how strong are you feeling? I was like, I don't know. Why? What you got in mind? We going to the gym? And he was like, let's push it up this car park. So we pushed this van up the car park, and he was like, right, I'm going to get in it, and you just push me, and then we'll get going. And then I'm like pushing this van, and I'm thinking this is gonna just keep going and go into this bush. And he is half in, half out, and then he jumps in the van. He puts it in second gear. He's like, "Get in second gear, you fuck," And then it just starts revving into life. And then a lot of black smoke came out of the exhaust, but the engine was on, And then the engine was running. It was juddering quite a lot, and then he sort of got out. I'd never seen someone look so relieved, And he was like, mate, thank you so much. Where do you live? That one there? Okay, cool. I'll make sure to come around and say thanks. I was like, well, you don't have to. It's fine, We can keep separate. But yeah. And then he went off to DIY SOS. So that was a weird first moment in my neighbourhood, But here's the question. Is his van going to start when he's in Cardiff? You know what I mean? I don't think it is, because it looked
He'll need some
there.
VAN SOS.
Yeah, there you go. That's good. Yeah. That's great stuff.
Yeah. Thinking about that for a good old minute.
Gabby would have loved that. Has the Gabby episode come out?
It's come out. Yeah, it came out. Yeah.
So I want to just quickly say, obviously, if you listened last week, we had Gabby King on the podcast. She was fantastic, and she did what sometimes we'll do with a guest is we'll carry on chatting to them after we've done the call. Sometimes, we say bye and then they leave, but sometimes, I'll say, oh, I've got to tell you this thing afterwards, and we might chat a little bit longer. And yeah, she said, let's stay on the call and chat. And there was something that I've been telling people all week, which I just found hilarious, when she was talking about how she's getting her own covers band together because she's never been in a covers band. And she's saying, it's going to be some mates of mine from Worthing, and I'm really excited to do it. Like, I think it'd be really fun to just play in a pub and play in front of a load of pissed people. And you went, Gabby, the grass isn't greener. I just thought it was the best thing because it's just like you're in the 1975. Like,
Yeah,
that's the gig.
that's
like,
yeah. No, it was a great chat, and also the drum show happened. I wasn't there. We don't know if you were there. Due to
I may have been.
Recording dates
not.
may have been, but if you did go, we hope you had a lovely time.
Yeah.
And hope you saw Gabby as well. Hope it all went well for her and everyone else who
Yeah.
was there.
Yeah, I still need to work out if I'll go or not. But we'll see on the night.
Going back to people not embracing modern technology, right? Because you think this guy, you know, he put the vocal stems on a USB stick, take him away.
Oh,
Makes me wonder. I don't even think he's probably got a computer. So what I think he'll do is he will just listen through to them on a CD player and physically write down, probably on pen and paper. What he wants to do. So fine. But so my dad, bless him, he wanted to be involved with new technology, but because of his age, I think he always sort of struggled with it a bit. And he'd, for some reason, build up these like old person or older boomer style views on things like, oh, I don't trust Dropbox. Oh no, I don't trust these things. And he once said to me, do you use Dropbox? I said, yeah, I use it for everything. It's like my whole life is in Dropbox and Google Drive, you know.
Yeah.
You got to trust it's secure, but to be able to access it all on different devices is key. And he said, and basically, I can't remember how it transpired, but he'd got in touch with someone, or he had some video footage or some photos that he wanted to send to someone who didn't live locally. And I said, oh, well, why didn't you, just put them in Google Drive or Dropbox, and then you can just email them a link, and they can. And he said, no. What I've done is I've put them on a USB stick and posted it to them.
I love it.
And I was like, you do realise you're not going to get your USB stick back? Like, what a long-winded way of digitally sending someone some digital files.
Didn't you say this? He did the same with Spotify, where you were like, Dad, you got to get on Spotify. It's great. You get any music for £10 a month, anything you want. And you're like, no. I've got what did he have?
Yeah,
iTunes
he was like,
something.
he loves Elton John and Billy Joel and stuff, and he was like, no, I've got, he still had all his stuff on iTunes, like CDs ripped into iTunes and stuff, and he'd transfer them all over to every new computer, and you know, had an iPod and stuff still. And I was like, one time around, it was like Christmas with Mum and Dad, and I was like, no, you should get Spotify. Like, you can get a joint account so you can both have profiles, and it's like £15 a month, and but I've got all, and I was like, does it have this? And I was like, yeah, it's got that. Yeah. Does it have this? And I basically like, Mum, I'll sign you up. Yeah. And I showed him, like, I was like, name an artist. Named one. Yeah, it's got that. Yeah, it's got that. So I signed Mum up, and then she was just listening to some stuff. And then my dad disappeared for about 10 minutes. And then he came down because he said, "Oh, I've got lots of Elton John," and I was like, "Well, you can have all the Elton John records, because they're all on there." And he disappeared for about 10 minutes, and he came back downstairs. I think this was literally like Christmas Day or something. And he came downstairs and he went, "Spotify's brilliant. It's got everything. I've just been listening to this, and I've just deleted my entire iTunes library." Like, that is the quickest turnaround from I've got some CDs that I've burnt onto my iPod to I've binned it all, and I'm now signed up to Spotify. So I get it. People have, different tolerances, but it's funny how some people are a bit slow to get with a program on certain things.
Yeah, definitely.
They resist it, and you're like, it makes your life easier. But anyway. Gigs. Should we talk about some gigs?
Let's talk about some gigs. Do you want to go first? Or
You go first. You go first.
All right. So I did 2 back-to-back. I mean, it's been a mad few days. So I did Friday in Cambridge, which is a long drive. That was a long drive. 3.5 hours, I think. The only way I can describe the wedding is it was the politest wedding I've ever done. In terms of the people. They were so like, oh, have you learned the first dance? No worries if you haven't, but it would be great if you have, you know, that kind of vibe.
Pussies, bunch of pussies.
Yeah, a bunch of pussy-ols, basically. And I even said it. It was awful that I took advantage of them. But, you know, we were going to go on at 8, and they did sparklers at 8, and then food comes out at 9. And Tim goes, might cut some songs. I said, honestly, we could just play 2 half-an-hour sets and then be like, what? What are you going to do? Do you know what I mean? We didn't, obviously. Yeah, the funny thing about that day was that was the day we interviewed Gabby King, and I didn't even mention it to her, but that night, the first dance was a 1975 song, and then another song request was a 1975 song, and it was weird playing them in a free piece because it doesn't sound good in a free piece, you know. 1975 is a wall of synth sound, you know, with a lot going on, and when you've got me, Swanee on bass, and Tim Love on guitar, trying to fill that sound, you know, on the first time playing The Sound by 1975. It's like, okay, this is what beat can I play that makes it sound like all the drums in the world? But anyway, the gig was like fine. Do you know what I mean? It was, you know, we did it and then went home. You know, the nice part was chatting to Swanee, the bassist. He's a good lad, and it's always a treat to play with him. And Tim Love was in good form.
It's a different Swanee to my Swanee, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is funny. There's a Pompey Swanee and there's a Brighton Swanee, you know.
Yeah.
Johnny Brister, if you're listening, there's 2 Swanees, just so you know. So I was confused once when you told me. I've got to tell you this, though.
Did you drive back to Brighton from Cambridge that night?
Yeah, I did, yeah.
Yeah.
How come?
Just wondering. That's a long drive. I've done the Cambridge drive before. It's not, you know, it's not quick, is it?
I wanted to stay up there. I wanted to do another hotel stay because the next day I had a gig in London. I really wanted to just do that and then just drive down to London the next day. But we'll get to why I couldn't do that. But I would say one more thing. So I had I was chatting to Tim Love, and he was like, I played a gig with a drummer the other day who mentioned your podcast. He says he listens to your podcast. I was like, oh, cool, you know. I didn't know who he was, which is always kind of exciting because you're like, oh, cool, I don't even know who that is. And then he said, and he might even be listening now. And he said, yeah, he mentioned that you mentioned me. And I was going, fuck, what did I say? What did I say about Tim Love? And he's now right here. But he basically said about how he said that he always wants a drummer to have like a consistent snare hit. Like that's all he looks for, like when playing with a drummer. And I'd really listened to it when I played the first gig with him, you know, and was like, right, better make sure I do that. Now I don't really care. I sort of do what I want, but no consistency whatsoever. But yeah, it was just quite nice. Like, oh, cool. I do feel like, yeah, we do have the sort of the, I don't know, there is a following of people that play wedding gigs that listen to this, you know what I mean, on the way back from wedding gigs.
Make drumming great again. We're building our own, what would it be? Make drumming great again. Mudga. Getting our own Mudga.
What's that?
Oh, I'm doing a play on, like, we're building like a cult following, like Trump. Make America great again. Make drumming great again. But MAGA, Mudga.
I like it.
We're building the Rumblings, and we will take over this nation.
Yeah.
And you watch the next election, the drumming party.
Yeah.
Free cowbells for everyone.
All bald guys just crashing Graham Russells and rioting. So yeah, that was that gig. And then Saturday was a lot. I woke up at whatever time and tried to move stuff to the new place and then drove to London with James Hollins. So I fucked this up, right? So we get a message, 2 Doors Down gig, me, James, Dean, and
Neil.
Sorry, I was saying James and Dean as separate people.
Right, not James Dean.
Me, James Dean.
Yeah.
You know.
It's the human equivalent of orange juice and lemonade.
Yeah, it really is. That's why I paused.
Sorry, am I doing this? Is this a 3-piece gig with me, Neil, and James Dean? Or is this a 4-piece gig with me, Neil, James, and Dean? Do you want James and Dean in the same glass? Or do you want 2 separate people? Because some people want 2 separate people. What? No, I want I want James and Dean. Right.
Right, we'll say that then.
Funny enough, Archie texted me actually, and he said, "I'll just listen to the podcast. Glad to see I'm not the only one who gets confused by orange juice and lemonade." So.
It is funny. I heard a phrase yesterday that I'd never heard before, a top up, and it means being dramatic. And it'd be like, oh yeah, you can top up sometimes. And I was like, oh, that's
I've never heard that.
I've never heard that. But I'm going to start using it. I fucked up the journey thing because Neil was coming from Portsmouth.
Was it Neil Elliott or Neil and Elliott?
It's good.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff.
It's great stuff.
So yeah, you fucked everything up by playing drums?
Say again? Sorry, I ain't got my headphones in.
You fucked everything up.
Oh, yeah, by playing drums. No, that was fine, thankfully. No, it was the journey because, well, I wouldn't say I fucked it up. Basically, Ox said to us, one of you is going to have to take James. So then me and Dean just went, right, well, who's taking James? And Dean was like, well, I can get the train and you can take him. I was like, okay, fair enough. But I didn't even think I can take both of them in my car. Do you know what I mean? My kit doesn't take up that much space. So Dean got the train up, and then we were chatting about, like, you know, they were discussing like who wants to go back with me afterwards. Dean was going, oh, you know, it's all right if I go back with George on the way back. And James was like, oh, I don't know, maybe, like, you know, I don't really want to have to run for the train. Dean was like, I don't really want to run for the train. And I just went, hang on, I think I can get you both in my car because the drums don't take up that much space and I can keep one seat in the backup. And then I was like, why didn't we just do that on the way down? And we were going, well, I don't know. Like, Ox said, someone's got to take James. So then we both went, well, okay, who's driving him and who's driving on their own? And then went, hang on, we could have done this all in one car. It all ran very late. I've got to tell you about this. So we turned up 5:30, and we were told like the load-in time was 6:30 till I can't remember. Anyway, it ran super late, and because a woman with a nut allergy claimed to the venue people that there must have been nuts because she was feeling like
D's nuts.
She was feeling the nut allergy coming on.
Anaphylactic shock, is it?
Yeah, exactly. So she went up. I felt sorry for this. What did you say?
Be safe. Be nut safe. Sorry. Just think about Louis C.K. and his...
Oh, yeah. If we all close our eyes for 10 years, then nut allergies are gone forever. I felt sorry for the venue woman because, you know, they were Scouse. I'll try and do the impression. It's like, she's going into anaphylactic shock. You know, can't do it. I nailed it the other night. But they're all like having a go at this venue woman. And then they had to like close the kitchen and redo everything. And you'll hate this. Neil was like, what was Winty think of this? It was all vegan, plant-based food. And the meal we got was like a big cauliflower on some, I don't even know what it was. I don't think it was mash, but that was mine. And then Dean's was half a courgette, like in some watery tomato water, you know. It was abysmal. We had it and then went, should we go to Tesco for a meal deal, you know? But yeah, we didn't get in the room until, I don't know, late, and we didn't start until 9:15. And Neil was counting back. He was going, right, midnight finish. We want to be done by 11:30, you know. So I think it was like, you know, 9:20, 10, 10-minute break, no longer, 10:30 till 11:30. But they were well up for it and they were dancing a lot. But then, it got to Mr. Brightside at the end, and they were so up for it. We're thinking, okay, it's going to be last song, and then they'll want an encore or whatever. But they didn't. It suddenly all went weird and quiet, and I was like, what's going on? And apparently there was a fight going on, so they were a bit distracted. So anyway, we then did one more song, and then DJ for a bit, and then left and got out of London. But it was very central London though. It was Covent Garden, and it's hard work driving around there. I went, as soon as I went in, I was like, right, how many times am I going to get beeped? You know, it's going to happen. Whatever you do, if you slow down when the light's going red, you'll get beeped because people will be like, you can go through, you know, it's fine. So
We got back to the studio to drop the PA off at about 2:30 on Saturday night, and as me and Ben Corner pulled up, Neil pulled up, and it's like 2:30. Getting back from central London is not great.
Yeah.
And Neil had the look of a man who had a stressful central London drive.
Yeah. And then his weekend wasn't done there. He had 10 a.m. doing football coaching or something, and then football in the afternoon on Sunday.
Oh, he makes you aware of that every week. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't realise how much football we had going on. It's mad. How were your gigs?
Good. I had a gig. I had a gig. It was a hyper gig. So I was filling in.
The All Ben Band.
Yeah, the 4 Ben band.
Yeah.
7-piece band. Four Bens. There you go. And I think that has to be a first.
Yeah.
Ever in the whole world.
Yep.
I've done a 4-piece band with 3 Bens. So percentage-wise, 75% Bens. We weren't at 75% Bens on this gig, but we were 4 Bens. That's a lot. It's a lot of Bens.
It's a lot of Bens.
Yeah, it was a hyper gig, so it was all pretty much a new set, backing tracks, click, all that sort of stuff. So it was, it all went very well. I played well, nothing went wrong. I was very much glued onto that click track and glued onto my charts. But what I tend to forget is, and because the majority of gigs I do are just are my bands, so I'm sort of, or it's, a band that's 90% the same as Decade or something like that. Whereas this is like all very new, very different genre. Is you can think like, fuck, I've got like 32, 34 songs to learn. But then once you realise, like, when you're playing them, all you have to think about is that song.
Yeah.
Do you see what I mean? Don't worry about what you're playing in 6 songs' time when you're playing that song. And actually you find that, you're doing an 8-bar groove. Like, that can be like 20 seconds long. So you're just it's not like each section happens like immediately. There is time. But no, it went very well. One thing that was quite different was that it's been a very long time since I've had to have that many instruments in my in-ears. So obviously my hybrid kit, so I've got the kick and the snare and the toms in the ears, bass, electric guitar, keys, 2 vocals, saxophone, click track, the backing tracks, and a cue track, and a talkback mic from Ox. So that's a lot. And so it was quite I guess as the dep as well, it was like in sound check, it was a bit of a culture shock of how to balance my in-ears. And so I was but the one thing I was quite paranoid about was losing the click.
Yeah.
So I had that sort of, I was like, as long as I just have that very, very present. But then it's weird, I think one of the singers didn't know my kit was hybrid, and we were sort of sound checking. I think Ben Corner was doing their in-ears, and then I started, did kick snare time, then I played the kit, and I think he looked round at me as in, sorry, what the fuck is going on with your drums?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? All I can hear is cymbal. I don't know what was in his in-ears at the time.
Yeah.
But I think he was expecting drums, but then it was like pads and real cymbals. But I had my little clap snare pad as well.
How was that?
It was good, yeah. That all worked very well.
Nice.
And I really enjoyed it. It was nice. It was good fun. Despite, I met some new people, they were lovely. It was great. Venue looked after us well. It was pretty chilled out wedding. Everyone was really nice. No dramas, no stresses. I just still don't understand why people think it's okay to leave without helping pack up. Don't get it. I don't get it.
Without telling too much, what can you tell?
2 other deps on the gig.
Yeah.
We didn't finish playing till like midnight. But, packed their stuff up and were like, bye.
Wow.
Like, okay. And I was a dep. But
Yeah, exactly.
I was taking main corner, but it's but I don't
What
know.
instrument?
I'm not going to say,
Yeah.
but it's no one you know.
I can kind of guess
Yeah.
because
People who don't have much equipment to take.
Yeah, because the
with them.
people that play the specific instrument, I know you said there's two, but there's a specific instrument that people play, and I won't say which one it is, but every time I've done a gig where there's been one of them on it, and they're adept, they are just the arrogance of them, because they get far more gigs than any of us, because they're a lot more rare a thing. And
well, this guy
yeah.
was lovely. We actually had a really good chat about music college and stuff. He was really nice. But it's that, I don't know. I'm a dep as well, but I'm helping.
Yeah. Did they have a reason?
But it was, no, I don't think so. I just think it's that, I just think they never do it, and then no one calls them out on it, really. And maybe I should have done, but you kind of think, well, fuck it, I don't know. And then I'm the one who's right at the end helping Ox load his car. It's like, come on, people, we want to go home.
Yeah.
It's funny how people get a bit shy about loading gear. And I had a classic, oh, you packed your drums up quick. Yeah. No messing about. But no, it was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was good fun. Nice. And, it's one of them weird ones where I had to do a lot of homework. I felt had that sort of apprehension and anxiety about just playing, a whole new set with new people, with clicks, with click track. I did a lot of work, a lot of prep with my charts. It all paid off because I played well, and everything went to plan. And you do all that for less money than one of my normal gigs.
Ox, if you're listening, he's not happy with the payment.
Don't get me wrong, it's weird, it's a good payment, just not good as...
Yeah, that's because your bands, you look down the fee and everything, it's like Neil and Ben management fee, Neil and Ben storage fee, Neil and Ben football night out fee, Neil and Ben we fancy a bigger telly fee, No,
it's the 3-piece freshman year, that's why. That's
oh yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. But no, it was good. I was very happy with how I played. So
nice.
It all went well.
Yeah. One question: did you run the playback, or did Ox do it?
No, Ox did it. He gave me the choice. I said, no, I think you should do it.
Yeah.
It's just
nice
being on your toes, really, isn't it? And I'd made sure my charts probably had a lot more information on then. I don't know. The key one was just because not every track was the backing track. But I felt more comfortable with the ones with backing track because I knew no one can vary this. But then you're doing Good Times / Rapper's Delight, and the ending is just ambiguous. And then you're kind of just I don't like that kind of jam it, or when are we ending?
Yeah.
Whereas with the backing track ones, and I do like playing to a click. So no, it was all good. It was all good, man. Yeah, enjoyed
nice.
it. So when this comes out, I've got, as of at time of recording, I've got 4 more gigs till holiday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How exciting.
Hopefully I'll do another hyper one at some point. If they need me, because I've done it now. Done all the homework.
Exactly.
But yes.
Nice.
Let me look at my things to talk about with George on the podcast. I've got 7 hours, but we've done half an hour. Should we leave it there? Should I save? I'll save my snare trigger EQ trick.
I'll
save that for next time.
Yeah. That's usually the way we do it. We talk about stuff that's happened and then save the stuff that can be any time and have a good catch up on, right, here's some drumming stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, you've just moved house. It's possible I'm going to be moving house very soon. And I'm off to Florida for a couple of weeks, so we're going to record a few in advance, ready for those. But hope you enjoyed Gabby's episode last week. Hope you enjoyed the drum show if you went. As always, keep following on the old Instagram. Send us an email. Like and subscribe, all that sort of shit. Give us 5 stars on the reviews. It helps people find us. Tell your friends. Word's getting out there, but we want it faster. We want this cult to grow.
Exactly.
Like a sort of underground militia. Well, no, don't do any violence in that. Just play drums in it. You got anything else, boy?
No, I think that's it. Just keep it going like an underground militia, and I'll be happy.
Yeah, definitely. Well, enjoy settling into your new gaff, mate.
Cheers, yeah. There's a lot to do. And I go to Switzerland on Thursday.
Oh, yeah, we can talk about that next time as well. Find out how that went. What are you packing? What's your sort of holiday packing like? I know it's not a holiday, but...
Well, it sort of is. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just taking clothes.
You do a mini suitcase? You just doing rucksack?
Oh, well, I've got a big gym bag that I think I'll just use.
Going for the hold-all. Hold-all?
Yeah.
Is it a hold-all?
What do you mean? As
like
in what
a
it's
hold-all
called?
bag.
Yeah.
There's a style of bag.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going for the hold-all. So, excited about that. But yeah. I can't wait to tell you about that. Should be good.
Yeah, good luck, man. I hope it goes well.
Yeah, thank you. And
let's leave it there, shall we? Have a good week, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to Drum and Drummer. You can find us on Instagram at Drum and Drummer Podcast. And you can send us an email to drumanddrummerpod@gmail.com. Remember, just pick up the sticks and twat it.